In the whirlwind of 1969, as The Who was cementing their legendary status on the US tour circuit, one incident at New York City's iconic Filmore East set the stage, quite literally, for a moment of chaos and confusion. What was supposed to be just another electrifying night of rock and roll turned into a physical altercation between Roger Daltrey, Pete Townshend, and a plainclothes police officer, resulting in a story that has become part of rock legend. The Filmore East, one of the most revered venues for rock music in the late 60s, was packed on that May night in 1969. The Who was in the middle of a barnstorming US tour, riding high on the release of their rock opera, which had taken both critics and fans by storm. The anticipation in the air was palpable as the band, known for their explosive energy and rebellious spirit, launched into their set. As the night progressed, a fire started in a neighbouring building. Smoke began wafting into the Filmore, and the authorities, concerned for public safety, needed to warn the crowd and the band about the potential danger. That's when things took a dramatic turn. A plainclothes police officer was sent to alert the band and the audience about the smoke from the nearby fire. However, the manner in which he approached the stage added to the confusion. The officer, without identifying himself, jumped on stage in the middle of The Who's set and tried to grab the microphone from lead singer Roger Daltrey. Daltrey, immersed in the performance and unaware of the looming fire or the man's true identity, saw the officer's aggressive actions as a hostile move. From his perspective, it looked like an attempt to sabotage the show, possibly by an overzealous fan or someone trying to shut them down. Unbeknownst to Daltrey, the man was attempting to do his job and protect everyone inside. Daltrey, never one to back down from a confrontation, instinctively defended himself. He fought back against the officer, sparking a heated struggle on the stage. Before long, guitarist Pete Townshend, ever the firebrand, saw what was happening and jumped into the fray, not knowing the man's true role either. Both Townshend and Daltrey grappled with the officer, and for a brief moment, rock and roll mayhem reigned supreme. The audience, not understanding the full picture, was caught between bewilderment and excitement. The band, known for its anarchic energy and unpredictable antics, now had a real fight happening before their eyes, and no one quite knew how to react. As the situation calmed down, it became clear that the intruder was, in fact, a police officer trying to avert what could have been a dangerous situation. Despite the misunderstanding, the officer's presence was not welcomed by the band or the crowd. According to various accounts, Pete Townshend even added insult to injury by kicking the officer off the stage. After the melee, the show continued, and The Who finished their set with their usual fury and passion. However, the incident left an indelible mark on both the band's history and the rock scene of the time. It exemplified the chaotic energy of the era, when rock musicians like The Who were pushing boundaries, defying authority and embracing a spirit of rebellion, even when it led to literal fisticuffs. The altercation at Filmore East quickly became part of The Who's legendary status. It embodied the wild unpredictability of their shows and the tension between rock music and authority figures in the late 60s. This was a time when the Cultural Revolution was in full swing, and moments like this highlighted the friction between the establishment and the youth-driven counterculture. In interviews years later, both Roger Daltrey and Pete Townshend reflected on the incident with a mix of amusement and disbelief. It became one of those rock and roll moments that, while intense in the heat of the moment, ultimately added to the mystique and mythology of The Who. While the fire next door that night turned out not to be serious, the altercation on stage remains a hotly remembered moment in rock history. A night when The Who's explosive energy collided, quite literally, with authority.